Right now, spankings in schools. Did you know it's still allowed by law here in Arizona and 18 other states? For the second year in a row, a Florida lawmaker is trying to ban the practice in his state. Last year, the measure never made it to the floor for a full vote.
Supporters of corporal punishment in schools say it's a matter of tradition and good old-fashioned discipline. Now, critics argue it's nothing more than child abuse and actually teaches children that hitting is okay. According to the Juvenile Information Exchange, school spankings are most common in the Midwest and South. For example, more than 28,000 students in Georgia got the paddle in 2008.
Where do you stand on this issue? Do you feel corporal punishment in schools is outdated and unacceptable? Or do you feel spankings are a deterrent needed to keep kids in line?
And joining us to discuss this topic and a whole lot more, today's guest, comedian Elaine Boozler.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to say I know I look like a pile of laundry, but I work at night and I was asleep till 9 minutes ago.
And we so thank you for waking up to join us.
I actually was sleeping in this. I just got up, I came over, and so I will be so starched and adorable tonight. But right now, did you know the camera adds 150,000 pounds?
I did know that.
That explains it for myself. Okay.
And later on, when we talk about coworkers, we'll get into that.
So it's
for
just,
sure.
I look totally different tonight if you come see me in my show.
This is your warm-up.
This is my dream. I'll think I dreamt the whole thing later.
Okay,
there you
that
go.
too.
Well, when we started to talk to you about these topics just a few minutes ago, when we said spankings in school, you were a little stunned that they even still existed.
Well, I am stunned that they I mean, weren't you surprised when you read it, or did you know?
I didn't know. I thought this was so archaic, a thing of the past.
It is archaic, and now many men who used to belong to the Playboy Club are going back to school. Just for the spankings.
My goodness.
And that's why I'm here.
Elaine.
Yes. Well, you know, I still owe 2 math tests in Brooklyn. So
they're coming and looking for you. You do know that.
You know, I can truthfully tell you that if someone was holding a ruler over me to hit me, I would not say, "Oh yes, it's 36." You know, that would not help me get it. And I couldn't even do math. They always said, "Show all work on a separate piece of paper." I used to draw a picture of me looking at someone else's paper. Here's
Elaine.
me getting number 8.
I was right there with you. Not a math junkie at all.
No.
Had you ever been spanked in school? Had you heard of anyone ever being spanked growing up in school?
I'm just amazed because, you know, now that kids are allowed to bring guns to school everywhere, I wouldn't think you'd want to spank them. I mean, it's such a first strike. It's like boom, boom. You know, who would want to be a teacher and spank anybody with the amount of firearms coming into the classroom today?
Unfortunately, that's a reality. That's not just comedy. That's a reality.
All comedy's reality. I mean, that's why it's funny and terrible.
And so many parents agree with you that this, you know, this kind of generates more violence. If students feel like they're going to get to school and be spanked, then they're going to, you know, turn around and be violent later in life. And so many of you are saying that on our Facebook page today.
You can't beat knowledge into somebody. You know,
no,
it's
you can't. And you can't beat good behavior. You know, you really got to mirror it. Samantha Golden says, if the parents are okay with it, I don't see the problem. Kids these days have no respect for the mere fact that parents don't properly discipline their kids.
And Rick Depew says, God help the person that hits my kid at school.
And Diana Doyle says, as a retired teacher, she says, I ban it.
Charlene Wood-Barkman, no reason for a teacher to ever hit a child. There are a lot of other things that can be done. Hitting is the easy way out.
And Stephen Jr. says, this is the reason kids are so violent as it is. Being hit by an authority figure doesn't promote trust from kids. It promotes fear, which grows anger, which then in turn grows into violence.
I totally agree. I have a 50-state animal rescue called Tales of Joy at talesofjoy.net if you want to look it up. And, you know, we take in the hardest cases, pit bulls, Rottweilers, huge, you know, American bulldogs. Kindness begets kindness. Firmness is very different from violence. Firmness and clear instruction and consistency is how you train and how you teach. There's no difference. Violence begets violence, and it's a terrible example for a young child is trusting you have him or her all day. You don't want someone to come in there afraid. I think that gets in the way of learning.
And so many parents agree with you, and we encourage all of you to keep this dialogue going on our Facebook page. We have a lot of comments already. So